Armor combo for Simple again, kind of a mirror setup from what we saw in Nuke as well. And in we go then. Two smokes on the T side and a bit of aggression here from Patsy, who's pushing up in toward the lower B.
Yeah, this lower dark play, it's become extremely common here, whether you do it early in the round and then slip back through the doors. You don't want to allow the Ts to get upper dark for free anymore. At least keep that question mark available here, as the 1x bet odds are quite heavily favoring NaVi in this one, and we can understand why. But again, a bit of a slower approach, not out the gates. They're just setting up in a bit of a default spread. They can grab the information that the CTs throw their way with the setup. Like, hey, one of them's poking his head through mid right now. Simple still aware of the potential for the short duel. Some peppering back and forth against the likes of Wonderful here. But still no call coming through. Patsy looking like he's going to have some action, though.
He needs at least one here. There it is. He can actually get out of this situation as well, but he wants a second go. Perfecto will punish him for it, and it's going to be a long take on the other side of the map with the bomb as well. Someday Young Electronic leading the charge here, and the CTs are getting overwhelmed. They're falling back towards CT spawn, and sure, Siren will leave the B side completely open.
But look how NaVi are toying with them here, right? This is the level of theory that you want to do as a team, right? Okay, if they're doing a very mid setup, right? We knew one was short, we knew one was spotting mid, and we knew Patsy was lower because he took a fight. NaVi had all that information. As soon as they had that, they took the long control because it was very likely there'd be multiple players long. They forced that rotation over towards A, and now having to, well, reposition and take stock our team spirit, but they made the right call.
They have absolutely made the right call, and Chopper has been very handy with the pistols today. Even when it's just him against the rifles, there's a smoke towards the double door to Siren. He's made the call, and remember, Chopper's tucked away as well, but he hasn't found much damage yet. The T's are starting to flood in, and Chopper does find the kill required. They know he's towards Carl, though, can't find the second. 3 versus 2, 10 seconds remaining.
The flank, no one's looking at the flank.
Exactly. Wonderful, can't hit the shot though, Chad, and there it is. It does come through. They've got to plant the bomb still. It does go down, but still another advantage here for Team Spirit. They've pulled it right back.
Well, Simple Perfecto here, 2-on-2 situation, locked in towards the side. The P250 needs to strike as both players, or both sides, have someone who's low. Peppered, Wonderful's through. He's been able to juke past right now. He's going to get Perfecto.
No way.
It's just Simple left in a 1-on-2. He's grabbed the first and a second headshot for Simple there. NaVi, they'll grab their first pistol in the series, but that one got close.
It got way too close again. Just to reiterate, on Nuke, it was a 5-on-5 open bomb site, and the round just kind of melted in front of them. And now, once again, they find themselves with huge advantages, not checking all the corners, and great setup from the CTs to be fair, but way too close. Ends up in a 2 versus 1 in favor of Team Spirit, and it's Simple who has to deliver a stellar performance with his P250, as you would expect, to be fair. But he had low HP, he was always going to get that second kill. So good stuff. Electronics fired up there.
Yeah, good to see Electronic getting fired up, right? As the captain of the team now, right, or the in-game leader at least, you know, you definitely want to be bringing those type of vibes here. So really good stuff to clutch out that round. Great rotation from Spirit here, but the early stages is where they did their best work. And Chopper, he's been able to infiltrate into the backlines here. Scout tag goes into the side of Simple, chipped on down to 31 points of health here, and a one-way smoke deployed to stall out any aggression coming through. Magix is going to scoop up another nade here, trying to do as much flak damage as possible. The second will connect, and 2 players alone now, looking good for Spirit.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of that on the A-bomb site. Grenades being left for the short and long positions, and Magix, he's actually got a kill here, I would say. Oh, there's so much work towards Someday Young, but it's not quite enough, but still significant. Simple and SD wide low, and they've got a 3-man stack towards this A-bomb site. 5 players from NaVi committed, Chad. They've got no other option but to keep going with this.
Yeah, this is a nightmare now, right? If they can get across cleanly and take some of these aim duel fights, that's okay.
I don't like
but
it at all.
They're so low, they're just going to get peppered. How has Electronic gotten that? Mac 10 at range onto Patsy. Okay, well, they're in, they're across, but they still need to get control of this bomb site here. Wonderful's being found by Perfecto, continuing to have impact in back-to-back maps. And, well, the boost over the top, Magic's trying to finish what he started. Bit's gone down.
Oh, we're not done yet. That's for sure. I think there's another couple of kills here for the CTs. That might decide it, though. Good grenade kill from Simple. And what looked to be a very uncomfortable situation, Chad. You have to say 4 players surviving. It's absolutely fine here. And that was a bit of a force from the CTs as well. They had the scout, the upgraded pistols, armor, utility as well. We saw that double nade stack. And just to talk about that as well, you can now obviously drop your own HE grenades. And that's the most common grenade to be dropped around the map on Dust 2. Wall with the HEs towards A, so you can stack them towards shorter ones when you get those sound cues. And, of course, towards long, like we just saw.
I think right there, one of the keys, right, I'm getting more flustered for NaVi than NaVi were, but in that situation, you've seen it so many times.
Right.
When you take damage to scouts and pistols and you try and cross long, one well-placed flash, and they're in, and, well, speaking of in, we're into some bit Simple, just going to stat pad a little bit there. The Mac 10 slays 3.
Yeah.
That's great for him. He's got 4.9k. Electronic going to come through as well. Just going to let these 2 lead the charge, look for all the frags. And now that Wonderful has been noted, they're going to try and hunt him on down as well. So this is going to be the 3-0 clean start for NaVi here. Both sides should have the AWP coming out into the next.
So Wonderful. Will we bring out the AWP? Potentially, we saw a double AWP setup at the end of Nuke as well. That's always a go-to on Dust 2.
Yeah, Patsy was the one before when Dexter was in the team who I saw doing more of the secondary AWPing for the squad and was actually pretty handy on it. So maybe it was just map dependent. Oh, ramp holders on Nuke, you know, they tend to be players who get to pick up the secondary AWP from time to time. Same as, say, like a B anchor here on a map like Dust 2. And here we will get into the buys here. Now, we do have NaVi taking on Vitality in this group. That will be going down on Saturday night, I believe, which is basically match of the week in my eyes here. That's a blockbuster fixture. It should be a public holiday every time that Simple and Zai will get to play against each other.
We do get Zai after this series as well, playing against Endpoint. Maybe not quite the tantalizing prospect of that game, but still.
Though, back in the server?
Absolutely, yes. That's going to be great. Wonderful. Fires off that first shot, doesn't connect, and it's still going to be long control granted towards NaVi. Again, heavy A presence, 4 towards this side of the map at the start. Simple almost given an opportunity there.
Yeah, almost around the corner. Blink of an eye could have been the difference there, but I wanted to highlight what you noted before, the dropped HEs. Everybody can see on the radar. We have a feature that's been in the last couple of events. You can see the dropped grenades on the ground, so you can get an idea of where they've been stashed and to be deployed.
That's actually a really nice feature. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it's only been in for the last couple of events, and it goes unnoticed sometimes. We have like Jay and MC as well who like to fly around with these cinematic cams showing us exactly where the stashes are.
Okay, excellent. Well, like we said, it was looking like a heavy long approach, and that's classic NaVi style. They've been doing this for years, getting this long control, sending everyone through, and the flashbang's going to be dropped here. Wonderful. He's completely affected, and actually maybe isolated at this point. He has to give up his position. 14 HP, make it 0. Someday Young will finish him off, and that's a perfect little set piece to flush the sniper out, and they've got all the control in the world now. Taking 50 damage on SDY. Patsy with his grenades once again, trying to inflict serious damage here. Could actually connect. There's the first. Second, there it is. And now they actually have a fighting chance here. Good utility from Team Spirit so far.
Oh, hot toes right now for Electronic. He's going to be found. Patsy on a bit of a regress there. More util dump towards the site, but now both teams almost completely out of utility. Just a couple of flashes of Molly in the play, and that is perfecto. Pushes forward. Bit's got one as well. Chopper onto the trade. It's just 2 standing. Bit, he's got to get it done, and Magix will close it down. That's going to be the first round for Spirit, and it didn't start great with the burnt out calm position of Paul. Wonderful, but they make up for it. That util damage you highlighted, bang on, and then the kills just kept coming. Everybody from Spirit was there to deal with that.
Yeah, that's a really cerebral sort of response from Team Spirit there. The fact they had the presence of mind to stay calm, no one's over pushing, you're waiting for your opportunity. They find the grenade kill, and all of a sudden you're back into the round. That incendiary towards the ramp as well, Chad, from Magix as well. Yeah. It was so perfectly placed. They're blind, they're running into it, they're burning away, and then he's just there to mop them up, close things out as well. As we get into round number 5, ladies and gents, money is running thin for NaVi. If there's an opportunity to get back into a game, this would be it. Team Spirit are a little bit hamstrung with 2 FAMASs here, but wonderful. He'll be having that AWP, and this time towards short. His adversary Simple, of course. He'll be towards top and middle. No long focus this time from NaVi. Changing things up. Maybe feeling a little bit disheartened after the previous round. It was a very strong hold from Team Spirit, it has to be said.
Yeah, the thing is, I assumed NaVi were going to win that round after the opener because it was just so clean.
Definitely.
And it was quick as well. It's all right, we've got control. The car position is the only thing that can stop us from getting picked. Corner smoke, flash through, perfect. Molly lands just after. That was a really great combination there, but the stall out from Spirit was just as good, if not better.
Really enjoyed that. I hope we see more of those sort of setups coming through. Thinking man's game, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not just a swing around a corner anymore. You know, there's always a thought. It's always a nice little combination of move. And here's another one, exchange of smokes. Lurk smoke from NaVi, immediately negated by one back, right? That's responsive. They're playing a smoke molly defense there over towards B. So that's a great responsive, but the attack appears to still be coming. So Siren to be tested, yet to get a kill, but still early stages. This would be his chance to light up the scoreboard.
A good position. Oh, the missed flash there, and it's going to be definitely a kill here. It's a little discombobulating for NaVi. Not really sure where to look. Chopper still alive in his car position. Looks good for a second. Does at least 60 damage there towards SDY, and we have a 3 versus 3. You'd kind of give this towards NaVi in terms of advantage. Very difficult to retake this bomb site. In terms of grenades, nothing on the CT side, Chad, but they do have kits, and I dare say it's worth a go.
Well, if Simple re-smokes the doors, that might cancel the plans here, because that's going to be another 20 seconds that Spirit have to hold out. And in a lot of these situations now in the late rounds, I like to call it when they go fishing, right? The CT's just hanging around to see if the T's overstep, somebody peeks wider than they should have, and you catch a freebie, and then you can go for it. But right now, no bites, nothing being handed over to Spirit here, and they're just looking to hold on to the goodies.
A little bit scrappy there from NaVi with the missed flash. He thought the FAMAS might be good for 2, but just 1.5, fortunately for them. SDY holds on. And once that bomb's down, you'll see this very often in top-level CS. Just going to be falling back, and great timing from Patsy. Can't win the round, of course, but takes Electronic with him, and another good shot there as well. Patsy will be dropped at the money. Not amazing on the T side. Perfecto of only 3,600. Same story for Bit as well, so simple. Will he be able to drop a rifle? 2,800 as well. Don't buy another grenade. There we go. And we'll see whether this was as scrappy as it felt. So Chopper and Siren opening things up. It was Young that really had to deliver here. Manages to get that all-important second kill, and that's where things started to stabilize.
And it's a big second kill as well, right? Because a lot of players might just step out and expect the trade, but he took his time, right? He made sure he could line up that fire and go for the duel. But the force buy for Spirit behind these saved guns, the AWP to lead the charge is wonderful. Pokes his head up through mid, nobody home. SDY stalled that as well.
He was thinking about it for a second. Twinkle toes wanted to get in the flames, but thinks better of it. And 4-1 for NaVi. A difficult round for the CTs
Run
here.
boost here.
Relying on Wonderful to find some picks, and he might be tested here.
Oh, it's just a boost, not even a run
That's
boost.
an old school boys. We were doing that about 15 years ago. I love that.
You change the elevation, right? Because
yeah, exactly.
we didn't have all the same utilities. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's taking me right back.
And nothing coming through either side within the first 40 seconds or so of this one. Team Spirit have found themselves in a very standard defense. 2 towards B, 1 floating as the rotation player of Patsy, and 2 towards long. So slightly different here, but they're hoping for a B finish, right? You park the AWP towards the back of platform. If they go mid to B, if he can transition to window, sure. But if they go A, he's completely out of the play here. So they're all very committed to this, and as we can see, NaVi are just taking space throughout the map.
They're posturing right now, but I dare say they might end up with a B split themselves here. They're going to explore shore, which is standard for a B split. You want to push any CT presence back there, make sure they don't have the information. But I dare say they're going to be ending up towards B. And here it comes through the middle doors. They do a double smoke, presumably.
So there's a chance on this.
And Wonderful, like you said, the back plat position. Siren not with the best gun. And he will be found out, but does a boatload of damage at 99 towards Bit. Electronic hit for 55, and in towards the B side they go. The first no-scope connects, and we needed a little bit more, Chad, to get a bit more excited. But there it is, 4-on-3. Round pretty much done once again for the same reasons we already stated in the previous. And might as well be looking for those exits once again.
Poor Siren right there. There's only a few weapons that I would say would be worse for the job than how he found himself having to fight mid to B with that.
With a little.
Yeah, and a lot of damage, great, but with a FAMAS, maybe he gets one, maybe that buys some time. Chopper with a little bit of a fight will take down Perfecto here. And the one-man standing of Magix with that M4 in hand, making his way over towards T-Spawn. So yeah, a moment of excitement there, but NaVi continue the winning ways, 5-1. We'll chipped away at a little bit, but nothing to really report here. Now, look, Pro League, it goes for 5 weeks. We've got you every single day. We've got 3 best-of-3s a day, Wednesday through Sunday. On Sunday, all 3 best-of-3s will be played simultaneously for competitive integrity purposes, so that the group outcome cannot be skewed. But yeah, the Counter-Strike is non-stop when Pro League's on. And if you're at home and you're joining us and, you know, you got us on the back on the telly or whatever, you want to chip on in, there's going to be plenty of fun stuff for you to get involved with. And I've heard of a couple of things the desk have got ready and raring to go.
Any more stunts, Chad? Or?
No more stunts from me this week, at least.
You filled your quota?
Yeah, 1 a week they have. But we also are going to be trying, right? I want to make sure everyone's clear on this, to get players to come and join us here on the cast.
Well, you sent out a tweet, I should say. And I feel like we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Once everyone gets a bit more comfortable with the 4-man seas, it's maybe a bit more fun than other tournaments. You can come have a chat with us. We're not doing anything too intense in the booth right now, as Siren will be tested. Not a B rush, but definitely a B execution here with a couple of basic smokes. Flashes coming in from Simple as well. Absolutely lovely. And that's the M4. Dispatched up. Magix will be dropped from Young from the top of middle. And just Patsy and the aforementioned Chopper, he'll be removed.
Yeah, I think one of the things as well throughout this season, I'm going to be trying to, I think, bring to the forefront, and maybe we could do it in conjunction with the desk when they do some skybox breakdowns and whatnot, is one of the details, and maybe it doesn't go overlooked, but at the highest level of Counter-Strike, what you're expected to have in your brain at all times is actually kind of absurd, right? The amount of utility that these players need to know at this level, different places to throw the exact same smoke from, all the pop flashes.
And aware of your opponent's tendencies around all of that as well, right? You have to remember team-by-team basis.
It's a library that these guys are carrying around now, and the way that I've been referencing it in more recent times is the players of today have an in-game leader brain of 5 years ago, right?
Sure.
Because everybody needs to understand the reactions, the little moves. You need to make sure, and that's why they all have the notes, right? They're constantly reading
That's what I've
they need
noticed.
to
I was about to say, it used to just be, even a few years ago, just the in-game leader of the notebook, but now I think everyone requires their notes, and it's for good reason. You want to make sure that you have a vast array of strategies for different scenarios, and everyone can remember what they're doing and what has to be done and the protocols around those. So, yeah, the game's definitely evolving. You've got to keep up and stay on top of things from a theory point of view. As we get into round number 8, ladies and gentlemen, a full buy here. I haven't seen many of them as Team Spirit are getting absolutely walloped here. 6-1 in their CT side.
They're biting hard on this long. There was multiple flashes and the corner smoke, and they're trying to retake control, but already up catwalk is going to be that electronic. SD1 is denied. He's going to call this out, and even some spam damage through. So look at them. They're probing short and they're probing mid. They understand this CT setup exactly.
Bit is in a very dangerous position, and a missed shot from Wonderful. That would be everything, but at least gets the information towards the B players. We can see we have got Wonderful getting our first kill. Siren, unfortunately, can't do much at all on his chopper. Same story as that B bomb site. It's just over. A lot of presence towards A. They were going for that long retake on the CT side, but it was too late. Bit was already out towards middle, and even though he was spotted, he was just too late. He gained too much ground on the map, and it's such a nuisance to deal with. B splits like that, horrible.
And you don't fault Wonderful there for that missed shot. The ooh comes from, if he hits that shot, well, then Bit doesn't walk into B and get 2 kills. Exactly like that, right? So a little bit unfortunate there. And you understand why Spirit bites hard. When Navi throw a corner smoke and 4 flashes, you're expecting a little bit of something behind it.
As I mentioned before, we've been seeing them for years. I mean, these long takes that have started around, they get the spawn, they'll likely take it. Your back's into the wall right now. You've got a limited buy. You just wanted to see whether you could take them down from that commitment. But yes, a really nice call there. Electronic, the in-game leader, will be going down, but it's all in vain for Team Spirit. It's now going to be 7-1 in favor of Na'Vi. And if you are just joining us, it was the pick of Team Spirit Nuke to kick things off. And the CT started Na'Vi, even though they started 5-1 down, they looked very comfortable towards the end, and even more so here on their pick of Dust 2.
I wonder if we will ever go a Pro League season where there's no upsets. Could you imagine, right? If like all the teams that we expect to get to the playoffs get to the playoffs, like that could be, because if Vitality come through today and they take care of business against Endpoint and they look like they're playing some quality Counter-Strike, the NIP versus Fnatic Swedish derby.
Yeah, absolutely, Chad.
Are we going to keep that one going?
Yeah, fine. Endpoint is still UK, you know, so yeah, we're doing that.
Well, we're going to hold on to that for the rest of our time, but that right there is an interesting matchup in itself. I think a very important matchup for NIP later today. I'm excited to see the new Fnatic. I was a bit displeased with the previous iteration, but this new one I have some hopes for, which I guess I'll curse them and they'll end up doing nothing. But the new team looks very solid, I think, with Nikodos, Roy in there, Mezzi in leading.
Man. It's one of those teams you like. It might not look like much on paper when you break it down and understand those players and how much hard work that we're putting in. And they've got a lot to prove, right? It's a prestigious organization. Results are expected. They know they've got to deliver. That lineup for last year has been underwhelming, to say the least, but I think this is a very good-looking Fnatic, and I really think they can shine in Pro League.
Yeah, well, they were able to get through to the RMRs, right? We have Road to Rio on the way.
Their second attempt, right?
Yeah, so it's not easy to qualify in the gauntlet of the online stuff for the RMRs, but they've been able to get there, and well, we've been able to get back towards long. So the first 55 seconds, you didn't miss anything. All 5 alive. You two being dispelled either side is this creepy crawly maneuver that did work for Na'Vi once upon a time. Yeah, I think if they just bide their time on this and isolate the fights. Look at this extra layer of utility. He's crept across and he's throwing bloody Molotovs from the A ramp.
They presumably saw the trajectory, though, of the Molotov, so they'll know he's there to some extent. It's Magic's with that pistol that goes down, and now just toying with that food, it seems. There is a Patsy on the A bomb site. He gets 1 kill, needs a double at least. Are you committing to that part, Electronic? No, he's certainly not. Gets himself the 4th kill of the round. Wow. And a clean finish as Siren just jumps up and offers himself to the gods at that point. 8-1.
I think here, the detail, I would love it if Yanko and Kassad would look at it around like that. I know it's only against an eco, but you can see the details because they did the double long cross to get Bit across long, but then they did a deeper CT smoke and they had a second wave of utility. And this is the layers right now. Once upon a time, 2 long smokes and you'd cross and a couple of flashes, maybe a molly towards the sight box, maybe you'd smoke short from the long position. But you're seeing a different layer here from Na'Vi in their approach. And that's great. You want to continue to have as many of those details as humanly possible. Double AWPs are out now. Wonderful and Patsy are donning either or.
And this is going to be Wonderful finding that first kill. It's against his rival sniper in the form of Simple there, 5 versus 4. We have got a slight sound issue here. We are just working on that.
Yeah, I'm calling him up. I'm getting him on the line here.
It's all good. And a little bit of confusion there, but still a 4 versus 3. This time in favor of Team Spirit. And the double orb setup, wonderful. And Patsy, as Chad mentioned, has always been the go-to secondary AWP. And we'll pump the brakes on the NaVi side. Getting ready for an Xbox smoke here from Perfecto. Making their way towards shore, presumably. They have still got the option for long control, but like we said, up against the double orbs there, could be a bit of a problem. Chopper has been very good at tucking himself into these advantageous positions. This time towards shore, but he actually is going to swing off it a little bit. Does he go for the kill, top and middle? It sounds suggestive, Will. I'm not going to lie.
We're in the future right now, Henry.
There it is.
Yeah, this is where it does get slightly jarring, but all in all, 3-on-3, over towards A they go. Oh no, they don't. Back towards middle here, dropping out some utility, and Perfecto has a glance out mid. If you head back towards the B bomb site, you've got a world of hurt coming your way. Siren has been able to infiltrate the upper tunnels. He's pushed through towards the T side, so they're trying to funnel them towards this AWP of Patsy here, over towards the car position.
They are, but it's still a lot of responsibility. One player here, sure, he's got the AWP, but he needs at least a kill. And then to try and stay alive for a good 10 seconds afterwards. And he'll get nothing but looks at things. Being surrounded, it's bit to take him down. Huge frag, 3-on-2, and the CT is left in disarray once again. They could go for it, but it's just not looking good, is it? You got the AWP on the other side of the map, joined by Siren as well. Might as well save that, but this really is getting out of hand. This first half, 9-1 in favor of the favorites. And nice flashbang attempt, but yields nothing. And not really worth going for it. But I can hear AWP shots being fired off. I assume it's going to be bit taken down.
There we go. See, look at this. Maybe we can use it as a superpower. We won't tell anybody.
I'm trying to, yeah.
We can get every call that we're about to make correct here. That could be the play to make. This was young lad wonderful, looking over the cusp of the smoke.
Simple, right?
Ooh, hello.
This was when the confusion started for me. I couldn't really keep up with the action, but there we go. It was Simple, top and middle. And still great job from Navi. It's looking very comfortable, Chad. Like, from those rounds we saw, the first round, Spirit won with that great utility usage. We haven't seen many moments like that. They're getting overrun now, and you can see the frustration starting to sink in. As it's round 11. Double orb setup still available. MP9 for Chopper, though. Not a big deal. He can make that work on a map like Dust 2, no problem.
Probably prefers it at this point.
I think so. When you're down and out like this, having a more agile weapon, I suppose, and getting stuck in is not at the end of the world.
But in this moment, if I'm Navi, I'm expecting something that's a bit more tonal, right? For them to be able to force the issue here, take a fight, exactly like this, right? You need to start dictating. And the fact that Wonderful's happy to take that fight, Simple now in the grave, a 4-on-5 situation for him to sit back and stomach. Long control being contested here. SDY, lucky to be alive. In space for bit. It's been taken, and the headshots not going to follow through. Good shot there from Magix at range. Patsy, wombo combo. You run into my AWP now.
Well, Sunday Young, 7 HP. Perfecto in towards those B tunnels. Just around where Team Spirit needs to keep everyone alive at this stage. Keep all 5 alive. The half's not over. You've still got a lot of rounds to be played here. If you can bring it back to 9-6, that's a pretty decent half on the CT side, especially when the underdogs here. And this will be 9-2, but we'll see whether Siren can keep this one clean. The smoke will fade, the fight will come in, and Perfecto is dropped. And as we mentioned, Sunday Young, he'll be waiting on 7 HP and just trying to hold on to the AWP. Cash, of course, is very strong on the T side. Maybe he can just go for some damage here. Likely he dies regardless.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a rough spot to find himself in here. Chopper, he's not going to want to take a third AWP, is he? Let's see if he can get over towards this AK. Where is it? Where's the AK? There it is. Okay. But fortunately, he's able to scoop that one up.
3 AWPs is a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, the triple AWP setup, right? Maybe back in our day during CGS, you may have had triple AWPs.
Oh, for sure,
you know, when we had 16K.
It was encouraged back then.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. You know, and we had a lot of good AWPers in the CGS back then.
Well, in CS Source, you do well not to be a good AWPer.
True,
much
actually,
easier.
Yeah, bigger targets.
Yeah, you could bunny hop. There wasn't much recoil at all when he pulled the AWP out.
You see this here, right? The fact that this young gun right here, Wonderful, is happy to take a fight like that in mid against Simple, it says a lot, right? Normally as a CT, taking that fight can be quite difficult. Well, okay, Simple, he's had enough.
He really has, but I still believe in Siren. I think he can cause some damage here, especially the AK-47. Oh. Gets one through the smoke. Not the target he was aiming for, but it will certainly count. And Magix, that's towards long. Sunday Young will meet his maker.
At some point, you got to go for these, though, right?
True.
You have to start going for some of these retakes.
I think you have to. I think you were dead on there, Chad. I think this is the round you can't just say, let's just save our weapons. It's too far gone. Let's give it a go. Try and do some damage, which Chopper has done. He'll be aware of that. The default plan. And yeah, it looks like they might be going for it. I don't want to speak too soon, but here's Wonderful. The Molotov's coming in. Let's go for it, lads. We've got the AKs, we've got the AWP. We need a bit of luck, but let's go for it.
Yeah, Wonderful's about to flash, and they're going to go. in his hands right now.
Has to be that round. It's obviously going to be difficult, but the retakes on Nuke were stellar. If they can replicate that form, there's a chance.
There's a bit of time here as well. So they're biting it. There's a kit. The flash comes over.
Not good enough.
Didn't come over at all. What am I talking about? Bits got one, Simple the other here, and just the last man standing, the AWP, looking to save, looking to do some damage.
He can't. Oh, I spoke too soon. Simple will be trying to remove him from the equation, and Mr. Wonderful, he is out, as we'll see double digits here for NaVi. A difficult round to swallow there, and they still had cash. It wasn't like a be-all and end-all round. Team Spirit could afford to go for that retake. We like that decision. Good to see, but didn't work out from the flashbang, just not quite effective enough.
No, I don't think it even went over the wall. You know, I'm talking about it going over. They didn't even make it the distance right there.
Kind of limped in, didn't it?
Yeah, and look, this one here was great from Siren, even though that wasn't the target he was aiming at. Gave them at least something to try and march their way back into this, but just pedestrian now, I would say, for NaVi. Going through the paces at this point. Isolated as Perfecto. The nade, not too shabby. The spam, not on the mark. Perfecto's still alive and even gets the kill on Chopper. So much pressure right there on Perfecto, and all he has to do is line him up, knock him down, and the in-game leader for Spirit has to sit and watch because Magix is still trying to avenge him. Perfecto contained towards this blue bin position. This could be a bit of a standoff here as around the corner of the smoke. Magix needs to clear his angles as we're going in towards B. Siren to be tested again. We've seen this corner once before. He's grabbed 2 kills. This time he's stopping them before they can get too far into the site. Simple has got one back. Magix eventually deals with Perfecto, and now it's a 2-on-3 situation.
Well, make it one. Just some die young, quite far removed from the situation right now, but still in with a shout. It's not completely done and dusted, considering there's a double orb set up here. One missed shot that's given an opportunity. So, creeping his way towards the back platform, and that's the shot we're looking for, Chad. Sensational from STY.
And he has time as well. He has still 45 seconds left on the clock. He just scooped up a smoke here. That would be fantastic towards doors to try and facilitate a way in. A flash as well. And
quite good enough, though.
Yeah, wonderful. Is he going to hit a shot like this? This is definitely a difficult one to do so. The jump across, there you go, with a 360 for style points. Henry, do you think STY's? No, he doesn't. I was going to say, do you think he's got this one? I didn't catch the Magic's flank. He definitely,
Magic's flank
definitely doesn't have that
Magic seems to be in the right place at the right time most of the time, to be honest with you. But decent effort there, has to be said. That great shot towards the back platform. He cracks the bomb site wide open, and indeed the round. But it's going to be 10-3. That's the headline. Team Spirit are back in this half. They have to win these next couple of rounds to start convincing us maybe they can actually take the map back and maybe take us to overtime, something like that. But Navi's still looking very to be comfortable. As we'll see, one of the first few Navi buys that isn't fully equipped. Bits on towards the Galil, a few concessions on the grenades, but overall pretty healthy. But this will be the round that will lead them to pistols in the final one.
Yeah, I think here, right, either way, whoever loses this, it's probably going to be Team Spirit to save if they lose the bomb site early because they want to carry something into that last round of play. So this round is very important. Team Spirit, off the back of this conversion, likely to get themselves to 5. NaVi could change that tune and have a 12-3 half if they convert right now. So push back off the line, but not completely relinquishing control. Wonderful is staying forward in a ready-to-peek position. Closed doors cleared. A standard util set there, and very aware that Wonderful may re-peek right now.
Well, some would say he has to keep it up. He has been nice and aggressive here. Not the pacifist I was expecting, especially against Simple as well. That can be quite a mental challenge, knowing you're up against one of the world's best. And he's been doing a great job. He's gone back towards that car position right now. Good grenade. We talked about those stack grenades toward this part of the map. Plenty more that came from, I'm sure. Smoke's deployed, and Bit might be setting himself up for a jump down towards spawn. Thinks better of it.
I don't think Electronic Smoke landed where it was meant to. I don't think the one-way's landed correctly here.
It's a little bit all over the place here, but Perfecto trying to bait out any sort of grenade or reaction. Here it comes, a drop down. Oh, that's the bait and switch. It worked out for them. Showing that presence towards middle, taking the attention away from CT spawn. Electronic jumps down, and now that kill could have secured the round, but Magix will hold on to it as usual. Patsy responds in kind, and it's actually going to be an advantage towards Team Spirit.
All right, well, the retake situation on now. Magic's making his way out with that orb, overseeing business of Wonderful from behind. Short control to be taken, and Simple needs to hit this one. Siren deletes him from the server. They know towards CT spawn, and just continuing to collect these kills one after the other.
Good
Fall
round.
into the hands of Spirit there. Bit's the only one to put up resistance on the retake, and the double orbs can be preserved. All the goodies can be picked up, and fantastic stuff for Spirit here to make this one a bit more of a competitive half here. 10-5 looking likely now.
And it was uncomfortable as well. They had that nice little bait and switch from Navi, showing the mid presence with the smokes going down, making footsteps, flicking the knife, smacking the wall with it as well. And that's when the electronic could drop down, find that first kill. But that was a 5-on-4 for Navi, but it's still just disintegrated in front of their eyes. It's Magix who answered back, then Siren taking down Simple in this position. That's the key frag of the round, that's for sure. It's Patsy, that double AWP setup, as you mentioned. Very comfortable stuff here. Team Spirit needed a lot more of this earlier in the half, but they should be able to close this last one out. As you mentioned, the money would be broken. There's no plan coming through. Doesn't look at the rush. He's got the bomb towards T-Spawn, and wonderful. Once again, he opens things up down to 7 HP, make it 0. That's beautiful from Simple, but Patsy keeps the round in their favor.
Might try and run Patsy down here. That flash is good. Across through the doors quickly here in Electronic. A beautiful play. That's heads up. They knew the AWP was there. They took the fight. That is really quick counter-strike from NaVi to put them back into a 3-on-3.
Well then, plenty of time on the board as well. And some die young with the scouts. He absolutely eviscerates Chopper. Cuts him down to size, and we will see a 3-on-2. And this was the round they came in with scouts, MAC-10s, pistols, and a couple of AKs. The scout is set out to play, but maybe he needs to stay, because if it's hitting shots like that, who needs another weapon?
And look at this as well. Magix has given up the A bomb site completely here. So they're hedging their bets that it will be either a B or mid to B finish. And Siren pushing upper, Magix through the mid doors. They know they've gambled incorrectly right now. They're going to be hot on the tail here, though, and that could be the undoing of Navi in a round like this. Magix has already jumped up short. He has a HE in his hands. That will not stall out the plant, and the cover is here, but Perfecto not looking the right way at the right time, gets dinked, and eventually gets finished off. 2-on-2 now. Smoke denies. Flash available. Siren can flash Magix through this if they want to go quicker, but he's rotated around to long.
It's a difficult one. A round where you thought Team Spirit had this locked in, but great shots, great individual skill from Navi have led them to an advantageous 2 versus 2. They are now, and the scout doesn't connect. And we'll see them start to get ran down, but that's going to be surely it. It's up to Siren. Has hit some great shots in this series, but they'll challenge him together. And it's 11-4. Navi already a map up and looking like they can take this one 2-0. Chad, do you think there's a chance of Team Spirit?
It's looking way too casual right there. Simple just handed out a fist bump, looking very stoic at this one. Navi looking to take care of business in 2 maps and set themselves up pretty here at ESL Pro League for Season 16.
Пацаны, кто второй? Он дает флешку и пикает потом. Со старта меня убил, понял?
Я так и делаю,
Расхуяриваю. Не, я говорю, он так делает.
Флэш.
Я вообще не боюсь, я буду пожим убивать.
Тише, Молли дали? Не убил. Убил еще один.
Got deja vu here as an even exchange leaves us with a 4-on-4. And Masuta, this is brave. The flash is a bit of an indicator for Perfecto to be on high alert.
Here
goes Navi just chipping away at the fully bought up vitality.
Yeah, they're B-splitting now. They know shox is isolated on that side. Kyogen can't push long.
Давай.
Я на флешку перед выходом дал. Он с пакетом. Дал, вышел вниз.
Это он, нет?
Второй, нет, второй. Сдай 5. Дал в мой.
Ворота, он один.
Возможно. Который?
Я не могу пройти.
Дай смог, 33. У тебя. Дай смог. 2 дай смог, я 33. Я ставлю. БТшка, а в БТшка. Бомба закрыта. БТшка, он знает об этом. Окей. У тебя есть гранаты?
Молик есть.
Я буду окно лезть, братан.